You know that feeling when you see a forlorn, rust-covered bike on the side of the road and think, yeah, I could totally fix that? Well, that's exactly how I ended up with a 1970 Harley-Davidson that looked like it had been through a world war and maybe lost. I called her Greta, not because she was graceful or glamorous, but because it felt wrong not to give this sad little bike a name. And honestly, she needed all the love she could get. I mean, her tires were as flat as pancakes, her engine sounded like a dying lawnmower, and let's not even talk about the smell. But Greta wasn't just any bike, she was a dream. My dad had one just like her when I was a kid. I remember sitting on the back, listening to the roar of the engine and thinking, one day I'm going to have one of these. So when I saw Greta, I didn't see a pile of rust. I saw potential. The first step? Cleaning her out. Turns out Greta had been home to a family of mice at some point, and they weren't exactly tidy tenants. I spent an entire afternoon evicting nests, cobwebs, and a few unidentifiable substances. Let's just say I wore gloves and 2 face masks. Next came the rust. Greta had more rust than paint, and sanding her down felt like exfoliating a sunburn, painful, endless, and slightly terrifying. Every time I uncovered another hole in the bodywork, I'd groan and say, "Oh, come on, Greta." She didn't respond, but I swear she looked guilty. The engine was next. Taking it out was like pulling a stubborn tooth, equal parts patience and brute force. Rebuilding it, let's just say I watched more YouTube tutorials than I'd like to admit. There were moments when I wanted to give up, but every time a piece clicked into place, I felt a small victory. Piece by piece, Greta's heart came back to life. Painting was where Greta really started to shine. I went with a vibrant blue, the kind of color that screams, "Look at me." Sure, there were a few imperfections here and there, but every brushstroke felt like giving her a fresh start. This was the moment she stopped looking like a project and started looking like a Harley. Then came the moment of truth, starting her up. I turned the key, held my breath, and nothing. My heart sank. I tried again. Still nothing. But on the third try, Greta roared to life. Well, it was more of a cough, sputter, and roar, but it was music to my ears. I couldn't stop grinning. Greta was alive. The first ride was magic. The engine hummed, the handlebars felt alive in my hands, and for the first time,